The other day, I took the equivalent of a subway. It's a SkyTrain here in Vancouver. It's above ground instead of like way above ground instead of below ground. And the big deal for me is that I haven't taken the SkyTrain from where I've moved to now into downtown Vancouver. And I especially have not taken it while I'm having these mobility issues. So I usually would get a ride with Handy Dart or, plan it beforehand, but I didn't. But I really wanted to go to this karaoke event, and I decided that I know the schedule. I'm going to take my time. I left super early. It's all going to be okay. And yeah, I was on my way there. I get there, and there are these announcements about a fire on the tracks. And the way that they were describing what we would need to do, it was confusing for me because I had never been on that route from my new place. So I was just people were still going on the SkyTrain, so I just followed people. And what ended up happening was there was a woman who couldn't use the machine. Um, it wouldn't take her dollar bills, like her $5 bill. And so she had the $5 bill with her. She just wanted a ticket. So I said, let's keep trying it. It wasn't working. And then I said, why don't you give me the $5 bill and I'll pay for your ticket on my card. So now I have $5 cash with me. I never carry cash with me. She was so grateful. And because she was so grateful, I said, just take the $5. Don't worry about it. Like, do something nice for yourself. And she goes, no, 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 no. I can't do that. You've been so helpful to me. Like, you keep it. So she gave me the $5. So I get onto the subway, and I'm like realizing, well, I mean, to line up for it. And I'm realizing that if I go one way, I can get an elevator. If I go the other way, there's an escalator or stairs, which would be difficult for me. So I don't want to make more time and effort than I need to. So I asked someone else, like, if I'm going to this area, do I go on this side or that side? And so she pointed me in the second ramp, or the second, I don't know what it's called. Anyway, the second way, the second ramp. So I went up that way, and I'm waiting, and the SkyTrain name that I want to take is not showing up, but other ones are showing up. And there's still these announcements about the fire, and I'm standing there waiting and thinking that, okay, it's coming, it's coming. And I notice a girl across the way on the other side, on the other ramp, talking and saying, come over here, come over here. And I don't know anybody in this area. Like, I didn't clue in that actually that must have been one of the people that I had asked about directions. And she had a very soft voice, so I didn't know if she was actually talking to me. And I looked behind me, and there was nobody behind me. And then I clued in, like, she kept motioning to me way across on the other side, saying, come over here, come over here. And I was like, are you talking to me? And she said, yeah. So I am like, oh my God, now I guess on my side of the ramp, I can't take that SkyTrain because of this issue with the fire. So now I have to go downstairs or walk really far to get to an elevator. So I guess she noticed that, like, I'm having trouble walking. She could see me from across the way, and I had like a trekking pole with me, and so I'm walking slowly, and as I'm walking down the staircase, guess who shows up on the staircase for me, with me? This girl. This girl is a young girl, I don't know, in her 20s maybe. She shows up and she left her train on the other side of the ramp. Like, she was meeting friends and had her day planned. She left that train and missed it just so that she could walk over to my side and help me get to the other side where she was to catch my train. I don't know this girl at all. And she was so nice and helpful that another woman noticed that she was talking to me across the ramps and said, "Oh, does she need help or something?" And she said, "Well, I think she's not realizing that the train is not going to come on that side." So that woman comes over to help me as well. So now there's two people that don't know each other, and I don't know, and they've come to help me and missing their trains for their plans of the day just to help me. So I'm like feeling so grateful right now. And I go to the other side with them, and we're waiting for the trains. And yeah, because there was this fire going on the tracks, on one of the tracks, the trains were delayed and they were stopped and rerouted. And so every time it would say that our train was coming, it would get delayed more and more and more. So in that time, we got to talking, and the girl that came to help me, her name is May. And the other woman, who they don't know each other, who came to help her to help me, said, "Oh my God, my name is May too." And we were laughing. The girl that helped me, the May that helped me first, is an art student, and she's really into art and design. So we got to talking. She got to know my name. She was supposed to meet her friends on the other side, like in town, for like hanging out that day and stuff. And so it got later and later because she missed her train because of me. But not once did she ever make it seem like that was a problem. She was so like, "But I got to help you, and I got to meet you," and I was saying the same thing. And I was so grateful because she was such a young person, and she could have sort of like dismissed that this is not an important thing, or you might think, "Oh, well, she might not be mature enough to think like, oh, I'm going to help this person." But she was so helpful. And then when we got on the train together, she said, "I'm going to go with you to your stop and make sure you get off to the right place and that everything is okay before I go to mine." And I said, "No, you don't have to do that." And she goes, "No, I want to." She must have been at least 2 hours late for meeting her friends and hanging out. And she spent all this time with me. And the funny thing is that before we parted, I looked down, and because I was sitting on the train and she was standing, and she always looked for a place to help me find a seat. And because I was sitting, I was more like, I could see down on the ground a little bit more. I was focused. And she had these amazing red shoes. They were like red dress shoes that, have a strap, and like they were shiny, and they weren't red sneakers. They were like red shoes. And I was like, you might be too young to know this, but do you know the song, "Put on your red shoes and dance the blues"? Like, those are the lyrics. And she goes, "No." I said, "You got to listen to it. David Bowie, it's before your time, but your shoes make me think of it." And she started laughing. And I said, "The song is called Let's Dance." And she goes, "Okay." And so she said, "People keep telling me that I'm like Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz." And I'm like, yeah, that too. Like, I felt so Wizard of Oz, like in this situation. I did, because I realized that I helped a woman get a train ticket, and she was so grateful and wouldn't take back the money that I was saying, like, I'll just pay for you, don't worry about it. She wouldn't take it because she felt like I was so helpful to her. Then this girl and another girl, the two Mays, helped me get on my train and get to the other side of the ramp to do that. The platform. That's the word I was trying to look for the whole time. Platform 2 and the platform. And then when she helped me so much, I didn't tell her the full truth. Like, this woman didn't give me $5 just as like whatever. She gave it to me because I paid for her, the other woman that I paid for first. But I told May that someone gave me $5 and asked me to pay it forward, and I feel like you are the perfect person for me to give it to. And I said, you should have this. Like, go get a drink at a coffee shop. What's your favorite drink? She said, I love matchas. She goes, no, but I can't take it. I can't take it. She almost refused, but I wouldn't let her say no. So I gave it to her, and then she said, okay, well, then I'm going to pay it forward. And I said, no, let's just stop. You deserve to use this. Just use it. And she said, okay. And yeah, it was just such an amazing moment. I don't even know if you could call it a moment. It was like living in the present, being going with the flow. Like, I've said many times, and I told May, my name Tasleem means to surrender to the moment. You might have plans, I might have plans, but sometimes it's important to be in the moment to see what life has planned for you. And that's what we were doing. We were living in the moment. And I felt like the red shoes and the, put on your red shoes, let's dance the blues. It all was so Wizard of Oz and so magical to me. And I just really wanted to share this story because I didn't get a chance to like really tell May what this whole day and those hours meant to me and what those moments meant to me. But this video is dedicated to her. But it reminded me of a quote that I read not that long ago from a book called The Courage to Be Disliked. The subtitle is The Japanese Phenomenon That Shows You How to Change Your Life and Achieve real happiness. So in The Courage to Be Disliked, there's a youth and a philosopher speaking to each other. And the philosopher says at one point, let's dance in earnest the moments of the here and now, and live in earnest. Do not look at the past, and do not look at the future. One lives each complete moment like a dance. There is no need to compete with anyone, and no one has use for destinations. As long as you are dancing, you will get somewhere. It is the result of having danced the moments. That is the only way to explain it. When you have danced here and now, in earnest and to the full, that is when the meaning of your life will become clear to you. And I just want to say to May and to all the workings of that day, all the components, all the people, all the flow, all the, I think the train delay, even the person who inspired me to go out to go to this karaoke event, all of those components came together and we were dancing this dance of life, which is like dancing the moments of life, not stopping, not like just letting it flow. And I just wanted to say thanks. Think about what is happening in your day today. And when you think, oh, something's not going right, or I got late for this, or I'm getting stuck here or there, like actually maybe this is all happening as part of the dance. And we need to let go and dance it, like dance the moment. There's no need for a destination. You just be like you're wearing those red magical shoes, and yeah, put on your red shoes and dance the blues or the yellows or the reds or the whites or the rainbow colors, whatever it is. Just thank you, May, for reminding me that dancing is not just for the dance floor, it's for everyday life and all the moments and circumstances that we come across, especially the ones that at first might feel like it's the opposite of a dance because it's going against what you planned, but actually maybe that is really part of the dance. Thanks for listening, guys.